Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, guys. Today's court hearing is an absolute roller coaster. We've got a man identified as Matthew Aldridge, at least according to the court documents, but the guy standing at the podium isn't having it. He's pulling the classic sovereign citizen stunt, claiming he doesn't have a name and referring to himself as the attorney-in-fact. Quick reminder, that's not a real legal title in this context, no matter how confidently they say it. These sovereign citizen types always come in with the same argument, that the court has no authority over them. But here's the reality. If you're standing in a courtroom in that jurisdiction, the court does have power over you, end of story. And this judge, he's not having any of it. From the jump, you can tell he sees right through the nonsense, and by the end, he completely outsmarts and shuts this guy down in the most satisfying way possible. Buckle up, because this one's a wild ride. Let's get into it.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
So get this. This guy is claiming to be an attorney in fact, and to back it up, he literally just handed the judge a single piece of paper. Now, I know you guys didn't get to see that part because it was a slower moment in court, but trust me, it was wild. The paper quoted some made-up law that supposedly gives him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. Just to clear things up, real attorneys have to be licensed by the state and follow proper legal procedures. You can't just print out a document from the internet, wave it around, and expect the court to take you seriously. That's not how it works. But sovereign citizens like this guy are obsessed with arguing about jurisdiction, as if declaring themselves above the law magically makes it true. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Courts operate based on real, well-established laws, not fantasy legal theories pulled from fringe websites. Honestly, is this sovereign citizen stuff actually getting more popular? Or am I just cursed to keep running into these cases? Let me know in the comments, because this one was next level bizarre.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Question. Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
This judge handled the situation like an absolute pro. He kept his cool the entire time while shutting this guy down at every turn. The moment this guy tried pushing his attorney-in-fact nonsense, the judge dismantled it piece by piece without breaking a sweat. You could almost tell the judge had seen this kind of thing before, maybe a few too many times, and he wasn't about to let it slide. It honestly felt like the judge took this one a little personally, especially once the guy started quoting his imaginary laws. And the part where the judge called him out for refusing to even utter his own name. That was comedy gold. Judges usually keep things pretty straight-faced, but that little moment added just the right touch of dry humor. From the very start, it was obvious the judge wasn't going to waste a second of his time on this circus act. And by the end, the whole thing just proved what most of us already know. These sovereign citizen stunts are not just ridiculous, they're completely pointless.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
Sovereign citizens are honestly in a league of their own. These are people who genuinely believe they can opt out of the legal system simply by claiming they don't recognize the government's authority. They'll go on and on about things like common law or cite the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, completely misunderstanding how any of it actually works. Let's be clear, courts operate under federal, state, and local laws that have been around for centuries and are rooted in the US Constitution. There's no magical loophole that lets you just decide the rules don't apply to you. But that doesn't stop these folks from flooding courtrooms with bizarre arguments that waste everyone's time and lead them straight to a criminal record. Legally speaking, their so-called defense collapses immediately because of one simple concept: jurisdiction. Courts have authority over anyone within their geographic area. It doesn't matter what kind of pseudo-legal jargon you throw around. Once you're in that courtroom, you're under its authority. These tactics might get applause in their online echo chambers, but in real life, judges have heard it all, and they're not impressed. And just so we're clear, Trying to dodge taxes or dismiss a speeding ticket using this nonsense doesn't just fail. It can actually get you into even more trouble for wasting the court's time and showing contempt for the process. Honestly, I don't know why people keep trying this. Do they really think they're outsmarting the system? Or is it just some strange attempt at rebellion? Either way, it's completely ridiculous and kind of sad. They're not standing up to anything. They're just making themselves look foolish in front of professionals who deal with real law. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on sovereign citizens. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.